Hope you guys are having a great week so far. Hope you're excited about NFL Week 7. We got a lot to get into in today's show. MLB postseason tonight, Diamondbacks and Phillies, and we cashed in on our bets yesterday big, so I want to make sure we give out a lot of player prop bets, game picks, total plays, everything you guys need to cash in on MLB on this Tuesday night. The only really big sporting event that we've got so far going on tonight. Of course, there is NFL Week 7. Drizzy's ready to get into Week 7. If you guys have fantasy questions, sports betting questions, if you need help with your waiver wire, if you need help with trades, Butt Fumble Sports is here for all of it. So everybody, welcome into the Butt Fumble Sports Daily Show. It is so wonderful to have you with us. We are live every single day at 5 p.m. Eastern. There is not one day of 2023 that we won't be live, and that's why you guys should follow. We give out data, advice, analytics, and trends to help you guys cash in every single day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that follow button. Jake, great to see you. Jake's one of my favorites. Jake, great to have you with us today. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday, Jake. And for all of those watching us across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, don't worry. We're going to get to every question today. So throw them in the comments section. We will get to everybody's question, including Drizzy. Should I trade Saquon for Flowers and Jonathan Taylor? Drizzy, yes, I would. I think Saquon showed you something on Monday night, or on Sunday night, but I like Flowers and Taylor a whole lot more. So Drizzy, yes, I would do that deal. What other tight end would you trade Hawkinson for? At this point, Hawkinson is arguably the best tight end in football, not named Travis Kelce or Sam Laporta. So hard to go with someone outside of Hawkinson if you're looking for real value. I think those are probably the only two. Eli, Purdy, or Herbert? Well, if we're focusing specifically on Week 7 of the NFL season, Kansas City Chiefs are going up against Herbert. Not crazy about that matchup. Brock Purdy, he plays on Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, we'll have to wait to know what the injury status is of McCaffrey and others, but I'd rather go with Purdy. Eli, I'd rather go with Purdy this week over Herbert. Thanks so much for the question. Who's better, Pollard or Etienne? If you're asking about this specific week, Dallas is on the bye week, so obviously Etienne would be the better play. But who's the better player right now overall? Pollard's disappointed me a little bit. He hasn't bounced back from that injury the way that I thought. Etienne coming on stronger. I think they're kind of in the same tier, and I'm looking for one of them to assert themselves as the better running back. Fluex, great to see you. Great having all these loyal viewers join us every single day across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Drew Hazard, great to see you. Butt Fumble Sports loves having those over on YouTube. Krish Paul, I'm in one of your leagues. Would you accept a Kyron Connor Kittle for Ridley? No. Krish, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't make that trade with you. Why? Because it means I would be a fool. It means I would be a sucker. So no, I'm not going to make that trade with you. But thanks for offering. Curtis Samuel or Hollywood Brown, specifically for Week 7. So Hollywood Brown's matchup, the Arizona Cardinals are going up against Seattle. Seattle gives up a lot of passing yards, so I kind of like Hollywood Brown. I probably prefer Hollywood Brown over Curtis Samuel this week. One possible to replace Trevor Lawrence. Tough question. I might lean just slightly towards the art dealers. I'd lean slightly towards Carr. Carr would probably be number 1. Mayfield would be number 2. But art dealers, I think I'd pick up Derek Carr and ride with him. Help, I'm 2-4. I have Lamar, Christian McCaffrey, Diggs, JT, Kirk, Ayuk, and Komet. Should trade or wait 1 week? I think you should hold on. I think Komet is the only one in that group that I actually think has serious depreciation of value. But if I remove one of the wide receivers in that trade, would you accept it? The answer is, I don't need Kyron Williams, Connor, or Kittle. I'd rather have Ridley, Laporta, TJ, and Garrett Wilson. So actually, Krish, I like the guys I drafted. You're trying to make me the sweetheart deal. You're trying to convince me to make a trade. I don't need anything that you have, so I'm not as interested unless you make me something, an offer that really intrigues me. Brendan Miller, would you rather have Pollard or Bijan rest of season? I still think I'd rather have Pollard just barely, only because the rookie running back wall I still think is going to hit Bijan later in the year. Do I trade Derrick Henry and Pittman for Ridley, Pacheco, and Jacoby Myers? Yes, I would. Dre, yes, I would make that deal. Dermot, Drew, Kittle, Palmer, or Rashid Rice at the flex this week. Guys, Rashid Rice is a really good play. I don't know if enough people own Rashee Rice in their leagues. I'm still seeing him available in a lot of fantasy leagues. If you can, go get Rashee Rice. He right now, you could argue, is the best wide receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs. So I really like Rashee Rice. Dermott, I'd definitely go with him this week. We just saw the Chargers are a bad pass defense. Really like Rashee Rice for you, Dermott. Shank13, have Kyron. Should I pick up Evan? I think Kyron's okay. If you wanted to for depth, sure. Foley, one of my running backs has a bye week, so I need to pick someone up off the waiver wire. Who would you consider? Elijah Mitchell or Mason, Jordan Mason? Elijah Mitchell or Jordan Mason would be two names that come to mind at the running back position. So if you guys are looking for running backs right now, I would turn to the 49ers. There's a chance McCaffrey plays, but I still like the idea of trying to pick him up off the waiver wire, pick someone else up. Yes, Zach Evans is an interesting option. I don't think he's going to be as good as people may think. I think Roschon Johnson may be a nice option. I mentioned this to you guys a number of weeks in a row now. Latavius Murray, someone to keep in mind. Antonio Gibson, somebody else you may want to consider. What about Hunt if he's available? Not as high on him, but given at this point in the year, he'd definitely be in the running. How do you feel about Lamar? Say against the Detroit defense? Look, the Detroit defense is playing a whole lot better than we thought. I'm not as big on Lamar Jackson this week because of that matchup. I think he could do okay in the passing game. I certainly don't like him in the running game. Isaiah, thanks so much. Would I pick up Michael Mayer? Only if Jimmy G's healthy. If Jimmy G's healthy, I like it. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Colin Myers for Metcalf? Yes, I would do it. Yes, I do it. How are you, bro? I'm fantastic because I get to talk sports with you guys every day. So, of course, I'm doing fantastic. Is Deontay a reliable play for the rest of the season? When Deontay Johnson plays, he actually gets a lot of targets, but I'm not as high on him just because I'm not as high on the passing game of the Steelers as a whole. Cooper, Kamara and Thielen for Kelsey. I actually think you're probably giving up too much. In terms of the brand name, you're getting the better player. Thielen has been a top 5 wide receiver actually in fantasy this year. Kamara continues to prove that he's a valuable fantasy commodity at running back. So Cooper, if you have depth at running back and wide receiver, I do it. But actually, you may be giving up more fantasy points than you're getting in exchange, even though you're getting Travis Kelce, Cooper. R. Robbie Robertson, great to see you. Wonderful to have you with us every single day. R. Robbie Robertson, great viewer. Rashee Rice or Chris Godwin? Really good question. I probably lean just slightly towards Rashee Rice, actually. I like Rice a little bit more than Godwin. Ballistic Visuals. Should I trade away Trevor Lawrence and Puka for Mahomes and Ramondre Stevenson? No. Stevenson's value, I just don't like. I don't trust the Patriots offense. I'd much rather have Lawrence and Puka. Diamond Decker, Deshaun or Howell? Great question. I'm going to lean towards Sam Howell. He's had some good numbers in weeks that maybe we're overlooking him because he's not a brand name. But I'd go with Howell. I don't trust Deshaun Watson, especially with his rotator cuff injury. Mendez, I'd go Rice over Moss. I would go Rice over Moss. Keep in mind, the Browns' defense right now is the best in the NFL statistically. So it may be surprising. Forgive me, I got to get a napkin. The Browns' defense is so good, I don't want any running back against the Browns' defense at this point. Drop Love for Howell. That's a tricky one for me. I'm not big on Love, but he's got a great matchup against the Broncos this week. I don't know. I feel like Love, if he's going to have a good game, it's coming off a bye week against the Denver Broncos. It is on the road, but I think Love could have a decent game. So between Love and Howell, I think they're going to put up similar points. I don't know if it's actually worth the waiver wire move. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're a subscriber. Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day, so make sure you follow. That way you never miss the show, you never miss the conversation, and you never miss our advice. So make sure you hit that follow button today, like Hugo and Lazy Official just did over on TikTok. Lennox, pick 3, Aaron Jones, Pacheco, Robinson, DJ Moore, DK Olave, and Addison. Okay, we love Aaron Jones this week. Coming off a bye week, going up against the Denver Broncos run defense. Aaron Jones, check. Definitely like him. I like Pacheco. He's going to be on the fringe, though, of the group maybe. But I'd put Pacheco right now in that group, just for the moment. I don't like Addison. I don't like DJ Moore with a backup quarterback. And Brian Robinson's matchup against the Falcons... Sorry, it's against the Giants. So I like Aaron Jones, I like Brian Robinson, and then it's between Olave and Pacheco for me. Right now, I think I'd go with Olave. Lennox would be Jones, Robinson, and Olave. But Pacheco's that close fourth. I told you he'd be on the fringe. I like Robinson's matchup more. Here's the problem. The Commanders are starting to get back into that multiple backfield. Robinson may not be the primary back in the same way. That's the only concern. But I think those would be the three for me. Diego, is Freiermuth worth a pickup? I'd have to drop Ferguson. I wouldn't drop Ferguson. I was disappointed in his performance last night, but I'm not going to overreact. Ferguson is on the bye week, so if it's truly a bye week move, I get it, but I think Ferguson will retain his value through the back half of the season. Little Sledge 34. I'd go Amari Cooper if Deshaun Watson's back. Amari Cooper does have a good matchup, so I would go Amari Cooper. Goff or Lamar Jackson for the rest of the season. Goff has been going crazy. I could totally understand why you prefer Goff, and here's the biggest reason why. Lamar Jackson has to play other AFC teams. He's got to play teams in his division. Who does Goff have to play right now? The Bears, the Vikings, the Packers. He is tearing up his division. He's tearing up the NFC. It might be Goff, actually, rest of season, as crazy as that sounds. Heyo, trade Pollard, Ford, Gibbs for McCaffrey and Tutu. No. Heyo, I would not do that trade. Heyo, I would not do it. Jacob M. Brian Robinson Jr. Jacob M. Brian Robinson Jr. Really good matchup this week. I'd rather go with Robinson Jr. going up against those Giants. Skizzle 60. Got to stream a QB, dropping Cousins for Stafford or Geno or Love or Deshaun if healthy. Got it. Okay. I like Stafford. I don't love it. I like Geno. I don't love it. I think I really like Love. Love might actually be my favorite of the group, with Stafford a close second. Ridley or Rice, Lane Johnson. If I had to go in any direction, it might be Rice, only because it'll be a backup quarterback. We don't know about Trevor Lawrence's status for Thursday, so if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I'd sit Ridley, I'd go with Rice. Javier, I traded Debo for Christian McCaffrey, or Christian Kirk. Thoughts? Well, good timing on the injury then to Debo. I don't think it's a bad trade. The Nick RB, start Zay Flowers or Christian Watson. I'd start Christian Watson. The Nick RB, I'd start Christian Watson. Skonk, should I trade Kenneth Walker away or keep him with his upcoming schedule? Skonk, I haven't really looked at his upcoming schedule, so you'd have to keep me a bit of abreast on that. The Seahawks are playing up against the Cardinals this week, so Kenneth Walker has a good matchup this week. I like that. Who's getting RB2 touches, Wilson Jr. or Ahmed? Great question, Matt. That's a tough one. I don't know. I think Ahmed showed them a little something. I lean towards Jeff Wilson Jr. because of his history running the offense that Mike McDaniel likes, but I think Ahmed actually proved himself pretty worthy of opportunities. So, Matt, I think it's a real coin toss between the two. Chris G, I'd go Watson. Chris G, I'd go Watson over Osborne. Thanks for the question. Tyler O'Brien, I'd go Olave over Kirk. Olave over Kirk. It's all based off the quarterback matchup. Look, if Trevor Lawrence plays, I like Kirk a lot. I still think I like Olave more. Thanks so much for being with us. Diego Gonzalez, Nico Collins or Ridley the rest of the season. I'll say Ridley. I do trust him a little more. Max Hewitt, should I go Waller or Pitts at the tight end position? Oof. I'd go with Waller. I'd go with Waller this week. If you pick up Chuba Hubbard for my running back, would that be good? If I pick up Hubbard for my running back, let me take out the Carolina. Panthers are on a bye week. Guy Foley. Panthers are on a bye week. Sean, Amari or Puka? Sean, you got to go with Puka. I think he'll have a bounce back week. Trey Wimp. Sutton, London, or Moore. Pick 2 this week. Well, I just don't like DJ Moore. If it's a backup quarterback, I'm not going to trust it. So Moore would probably be the sit for me, just kind of by default. Shank, start Zay or Brian Robinson Jr. Shank, I'd go with Brian Robinson Jr. This week. Nathan Van, should I trade Saquon for Henry and Watson? I think Saquon's the best player out of that group, Nathan, but I understand there's enough value there back to call it a fair trade. Buying with Biondo, Jordan Mason, Jerome Ford, Zach Moss. I think out of the whole group, I'd rather have Jerome Ford, I actually think. For this week, just this week, buying with Biondo, I think I'd go Jerome Ford this week. Moss has a tough matchup against the Browns. Mason has a favorable matchup, but he's going to be splitting touches, I think, with Elijah Mitchell. I think Jerome Ford's actually the best play. Keep Trevor Lawrence or get Stroud in a trade. At this point, I'm willing to say Stroud's worth it, especially with Trevor Lawrence's injury. I think Stroud might be worth it. I traded Olave, Mike Evans, and Pollard for Christian McCaffrey. You gave up a lot of value. Is Zay Flowers for Laporta a good deal? Very fair, actually. I think they're going to put up similar numbers. Given the value, it's hard because tight end, there aren't that many great tight ends. More good wide receivers. So I think in that way, Laporta might have a little bit more value in that way. But I think the points they're going to put up are pretty similar. So I do think it's a good deal. Lamb and Burrow for St. Brown and Tua. Fair trade. Right now, I think I'd rather have St. Brown and Tua, but it's a fair trade. Tua is proving his MVP worthiness by the day. So appreciate all of those with us right now over on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. If you haven't done so already, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys are with us every single day because we are live every single day. That way you never miss a show. That said, I got to give out some picks for you guys. You guys have been so loyal. You guys have been so good. You've been treating me so well. I got to give out some picks today, right? So let's give out one of my favorite picks of the day. I'm not going to start with my SHARPZ pick of the day. I'm just going to start with a player prop bet that I like for tonight's playoff game. So here we go. My first pick of the tonight. I'm going to trade Trey Turner over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs, everybody. Trey Turner over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. He has really good stats against Merrill Kelly in his career. That's why I'm riding with it. We crushed yesterday in baseball with our player props. Hopefully we can have a similar day today. If you guys want all of my picks every single day, just DM me on Instagram, everybody. DM me on Instagram, Butt Sports on Instagram. I give away every pick that I make every single day for free. I've connected my sportsbook to SHARPZ, and that way you can get every pick that I make for free. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram. Tyson, I'd go Puka over DJ Moore. Puka over DJ Moore. Neech. I'd go Raheem Mostert. Look, guys, Raheem Mostert right now, you could argue, is the best running back in all of fantasy. I definitely have him in my lineup today. Zinksty, how's my day going? Fan-frickin-tastic. I get to talk sports with you guys. How could my day get any better? Luis Martinez traded Barkley, Chase, and Hawkinson for McCaffrey and Laporta since I had Diggs. Do I think it's a fair trade? No. I think you're probably giving up too much, but I understand what you're doing. I just think you're giving up too much in that deal. Connor Flaherty, Lamar, Hollywood Brown, Waddle, and Madison for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lamb, and Aaron Jones. Who wins? I think you won the deal with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lamb, and Jones, but it's very close. I do think your side won the deal. Debo and Cowboys defense for Garrett Wilson. No. I'd rather have Debo and the Cowboys defense. Jessica Gray, start Dobbs against Denver? Yes. I would start Romeo Dobbs against the Denver Broncos this week. Noah, Kyron Williams and London for Barkley. I wouldn't do it, Noah, because I think Kyron Williams has proved his value enough. I like Williams and London to get more fantasy points over the course of the season, but it's not such a terrible deal that I wouldn't make it, Noah. I'd keep Williams and London, but I'm not going to talk you out of it really heavy. Aiden, what running back should I get off of waivers? We talked about this a moment ago. Running backs to consider off of waivers. Zach Evans of the Rams, they just signed him. Roshan Johnson of the Bears, you might want to consider him. Latavius Murray of the Buffalo Bills, especially with Damian Harris now out with that injury. If you wanted to go in another direction, Antonio Gibson of the Washington Commanders is somebody else to target on the running back waiver wire. Should I hold Moss or try and trade him? Connor, if there's someone who's willing to acquire him in a trade, I'd be curious to see what they're offering. Should I be scared about Kyron? A lot of people are trying to tell me that they're worried about Kyron Williams because of Zach Evans, because of Royce Freeman. You know what? Kyron Williams is scoring enough touchdowns this year where I'm just going to believe that he's going to continue to be the RB in the red zone that I need. So I'm going to ride with him a little bit longer. Yo, should I trade Barkley for Kenneth Walker or Josh Jacobs? I think I'd rather have Barkley just barely over Walker. I think Walker's coming on strong, but I still think I'd rather have Barkley. Max Hewitt, pick up 2. Jones and Pacheco, I think, would be the 2. Let me check the Raiders really quick. Oh, no. Take that back. Sorry, the Raiders are playing the Bears. Max Hewitt, I'd go Jacobs and Jones. Max Hewitt, I'd go Jacobs and Jones. Thanks so much. Should I pick up Ford? Yes. I Foley too. Yes, I would. Great to have you guys with us. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Better replacement this week, Kyren Williams, Gibbs, or Brian Robinson. I'm going to go Brian Robinson just barely. Gibbs has a tough matchup against the Ravens. It's Brian Robinson ahead of Kyren Williams for me. Which tight end should I pick up? I'd go with Musgrave. Jorge, I'd go with Musgrave. I really like Luke Musgrave's matchup. Connor, should I drop or hold KJ after his 8-point game? Depends who else you have. I don't think he's going to have a great game against the 49ers. He'll probably still be available in your league the following week, so if you wanted to swap him out with somebody else, you probably could. Owen, I'd go with Higbee. I'd go with Higbee over Pitts, I think. Kyle Pitts is starting to come on. It's making it a little trickier to try and figure out what his value is, but I think I'd go Higbee just barely. Bayball Logan. Should I trade Madison and Ingram for Mixon? Yes. Bayball Logan, yes I would, absolutely. Trade Javonte for Madison. Jake, yes I would as well. Zinksty, thoughts on trading Lawrence, Kirk, and Bijan for Allen Olave and Brian Robinson Jr.? Ooh, I would do that deal, Zinksty. I would do that trade, but it's very close. Trade JJ and Cook for CeeDee Lamb, Kenneth Walker III, and White. Pip, 1510, absolutely make that deal. Make that trade right now. Chumps TV, Evans or Mason to throw? I would probably go Evans. Mason, I just worry about his value. He's got a lot of people ahead of him. If nothing else, I think Evans is an RB2. I think Mason's probably closer to an RB3. Yes or no? I get Andrews, Elijah Moore, and Najee. I give up Lamar, Komet, and Dobbs. I have Goff as a backup. I would do that deal. Actually. I think Andrews is valuable enough to upgrade at that position. I don't like giving up Dobbs, but I think you're giving up two better players, but you're getting the best player in the deal. That's why I do it. If you want to get rid of Debo, I get it. He's been a tricky start the last couple of weeks. Dobbs or Love for backup QB. I'd go with Love this week. JR, Kittle, Geno, Mike Evans for Laporta and Bijan. I'd rather have Laporta and Bijan. JR, I'd rather have Laporta and Bijan. Thanks for the question. Fun guy, great to have you with us. Trade Jacobs and Hill for Thielen, Debo, and Mixon. No. Fun guy, no. It would take a lot for me to give up Tyreek Hill right now. Josh, trade Bijan, Rashad White for Kelsey, Brian Robinson, and Dotson. Yes, I would. Josh, that is a good trade. Great question. Thanks for the question. Good trade there. Landshark, Cup and Mixon for JJ and Pollard. No. I'd rather have Cup and Mixon. Ramses, Reyes, Ramirez. I'd rather have Mixon. Ramses, Reyes, Ramirez. I'd make that trade. Trade McCaffrey, Adams, Ford, and Warren for Allen, Brown, and Pollard. No. Dante, I wouldn't do that deal. Dante, I'd rather have McCaffrey, Adams, Ford, and Warren. I wouldn't do that deal. Appreciate you guys being with us. Again, if you guys want my picks every single day for every bet that I make, just DM me on Instagram, ButtFumble Sports on Instagram. I give out all of my picks for free. What were some of my picks yesterday? I had the Cowboys winning. I had the under in Monday Night Football. And I had the Phillies. Yes, it was a very big night. We had Jordan getting a hit. We crushed yesterday. We had Bregman getting a hit. We crushed. Make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram. ButtFumble Sports on Instagram. DM me there. We give out a referral code and link so you can get every bet that I make every single day. Alex35. Myers and Ford for Jones. It's a fair trade. I think I'd rather have Jones. The injuries this year have been concerning me, but I think I'd rather have Jones. It is close, though. I'll lean in the direction of Jones. Sebastian, Aaron Jones and Rashad White for Kyren Williams and Hunt. No, I'd rather have Jones and White in that one. Yo, Bijan or Barkley. For this week, I'll go Bijan Robinson. Yo, I'd go Bijan Robinson this week. Braden Vitor, Stevenson and Kirk for Keenan Allen. Oof. Braden, I do it. Ramondre for Jacoby Myers. Yes, I do it. Yes, I would. Troy Sumarski. Trade A.J. Brown and Javonte for Christian McCaffrey. Well, if you're going to do it, now's the time with McCaffrey hurt. At the same time, he is hurt. I would make the trade. I'm not too worried about McCaffrey's injury. I think he'll either be back this week or next week. So actually, Troy, I would do that deal. Juan Jr., great to see you. One of my favorite viewers. Juan, should I trade Etienne, Saquon, and Jeff Wilson for Mixon, Henry, Javonte, and Christian Watson. No, don't do the deal. Don't do the deal. Juan Jr., I'd rather have Etienne, Saquon, and Jeff Wilson, I think. Bayball Logan, should I use my third waiver wire spot for Mason when I have McCaffrey and Elijah? No, I don't think so. That's a little bit overloaded on that backfield. Achane for Olave. Yes, that's getting value right now for a player that might have value in weeks to come. I'll take Olave over Achane right now. Daniel, would you trade A.J. Brown and Thielen for Kupp and Andrews? Yes, I would. Daniel, yes, I would. As well as Thielen's playing, getting a nice tight end, worth it. The Big Fish 101, trade Mixon for Jacoby. I might prefer Mixon just slightly with the running back position, kind of a need. But if you've got depth at running back, I get it. Harry, should I trade Ridley for Puka? Ooh, I wouldn't, but it's a good question, but no, I wouldn't. Pittman and Higgins for Devontae Adams. No, I'd rather have Pittman and Higgins. How much would I drop on Evans? Chump TV, I don't know how much people are really going to value him. I'd probably put it at like $5 and see what happens. Brendan, should I trade Pollard and Myers for Pacheco and Kamara? Yes. Actually, I would do that deal because I think Kamara could actually outscore Pollard the rest of season. Brendan, I would do it. Sell high on Kyron. If you have depth at running back, it's not a terrible idea. Logan Gildia. Start DJ Moore, Christian Kirk. Man, starting 2 backup quarterbacks. Here's the question. Logan, if Trevor Lawrence is playing, I go Christian Kirk. If he's not playing, I think I'll go DJ Moore. It's brutally tough, but it depends on Trevor Lawrence is going to get in that game. Ryan, trade Montgomery and London for Hurts. No, do not trade. I wouldn't make that deal right now. I know Hurts' value is actually a good price to go acquire him, but I wouldn't do it. Ice-T, 1001. McLaurin and Amari Cooper still good? Yes. Can I trade Etienne for Eckler? Daniel, it's kind of an interesting idea. Eckler didn't have a great night last night, while Etienne had a great week. I actually do like that trade, Daniel. I think Eckler could actually outscore Etienne the rest of the season. What are my thoughts on Puka the rest of the season? I'm not worried about him. If I've learned anything over the course of this year, the Sean McVay offense, when they have Matthew Stafford, Kupp, and Puka, they're reliable options. I know Puka wasn't as good this week, but I'm not too worried about it. If Puka doesn't have that drop in the end zone, which he should have caught, he would have had a touchdown. That's something to keep note of. Sometimes the stats lie. If you watch these games, Puka had opportunities to get more fantasy points. He had that one drop. So I think Puka will continue to be targeted, continue to be a good fantasy option the rest of season. Pip 1510, which one's better? Trade JJ and Swift for Kupp and Etienne? I'd go with Kupp and Etienne. I'd go Kupp and Etienne. If you wanted the 2 for 3, I get it. Actually, whoa. Let me back that up. JJ and Cook for CD, K9, and White's better. Sorry, Pip 1510. I didn't see that you were swapping out Swift for Cook. So if you trade JJ and Cook for CD Lamb, K9, and White, that's the better trade. Pip 15, it's the second trade that's better. What do I do with Ridley? You cross your fingers and you hope Trevor Lawrence is going to get on that field on Thursday night. Devontae Adams or A.J. Brown? Oof. I'll go to, here's the question. Who's the quarterback of the Raiders this week? If Jimmy G is quarterbacking the Raiders, I'd go Devontae Adams. If he is not, I'd go A.J. Brown. I think it's going to be a shootout between the Eagles and the Dolphins. So I like A.J. Brown over Devontae Adams only if Jimmy G doesn't play. If Jimmy G plays, Adams has the better matchup against the Bears. Adams would be the better start. But Darius, 1991, A.J. Brown is the start if Jimmy G doesn't play. Graham Mitchell, Gibbs is playing this week. Bad matchup against the Ravens, but Gibbs is playing. Carter, 22, Luke Musgrave. Carter, 22, I'd go Luke Musgrave. Jake, start Palmer or Osborne for week 7. I would start Palmer probably, Jake. I don't trust Osborne going up against the 49ers defense as much. Jorge, I would start Jones and I would start Walker. Jones and Walker. It's close between Walker and Jacobs. But I'll go Walker. Daniel, is Brian Robinson a good replacement? Yes, this week he is, Daniel. Yes, he is. A.J. Brown and Etienne for Eckler and St. Brown. Yeah, I would do it. Daniel. It's a fair trade. I don't know which side wins, but it's a fair trade. Offer K9 for Bijan. Diego, it's a bit of a risk. I think K9 could actually be the better play the rest of the season, but it's not a bad idea right now, maybe. I Foley too. Myers or Pittman at the flex. I'm gonna go with Myers. I'm gonna go with Myers again. It's about Jacoby. Sorry, it's about Jimmy G. If Jimmy G doesn't play, I'll switch over to Pittman. Gotcha, John Tosh. Butt fumble. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't play, should I start Mitchell or Madison? I'd start Elijah Mitchell. John Tosh, I'd start Elijah Mitchell. Dante, help. Trade McCaffrey and Warren Ford for Kupp and Allen. Dante, I'd do it. Matthew, Kyron or Jacobs? This week, Matthew, I'd go Jacobs. This week, I would go with Jacobs. Edwin Vasquez, Myers or Swift? Edwin, I'd go DeAndre Swift this week. Carter, you think I should trade Davante Adams with how he's been playing? If so, for who? The answer is I would trade him. I wasn't big on him at any point this year. He's had a couple good games, but Jimmy G just doesn't throw him the ball enough because when he sees coverage, Jimmy G gets a little sheepish. So I would trade Davante Adams, get him for like an A.J. Brown, get him for an Amon-Ra St. Brown, get him for a top wide receiver. If you can get a top running back, that'd be even better. Jack Stevens, should I trade Kenneth Walker for Palmer, Judy, and Dobbs? I wouldn't. It's trading a running back that has sure value for three wide receivers that have risky value. Jack, I think you're trading a lock-it-in running back for players you have to rotate, and you don't know which one's going to perform well each week, so I'm not about it. Worst running back luck, says KDog23. Sorry about it, KDog. Been playing 15 years, could never figure out the running back spot. I have Kyron and Achan out. So, Kyron Williams, I'm seeing, is likely out against the Steelers. I'm seeing that ankle injury is likely to keep him out. That's why Evans' value is shot up. I get it now. I didn't realize Williams was going to be out. I thought there was a slight chance he would still play. The answer is Kyron Williams is out, guys. Kyron Williams likely out for the Steelers. That's ESPN reporting on that. Likely out against the Steelers. So, something to keep note of. Allison White, great to have you this week. Chiefs defense this week, would I play them? The answer is no. I think the Chargers are a legitimate enough offense where I wouldn't want to play the Chiefs this week. Do I think Chris Jones could get a sack? Absolutely. But do I like the Chiefs defense this week? Not that much. It's a tough matchup against the Chargers. RW, should I drop Ferguson for Jay Smith or Mayer? Wanting to keep until week 10. I don't trust Michael Mayer. He finally had a good game, but he hasn't been consistent enough. I'd rather have Ferguson, if I'm being honest. I know he had a bad game. Jonnu Smith's come on strong, so maybe for this week you like Jonnu Smith, but I know you're asking to upgrade the running at the tight end, but I kind of like Ferguson. Baltimore or the Ravens for defense this week? Raiders defense this week. Jorge, Musgrave or Njoku? Great question. Look, if Deshaun Watson's playing or not, I think I like Njoku a little bit more. Musgrave could have a really good game, though. Bit of a tricky one. Robbie Robertson. Should I drop Jones and pick up Rice? Yes. Robbie Robertson, that's absolutely the move to make. Rashee Rice is way more valuable rest of season than Zay Jones. Is Jordan Addison a good start? I think he's okay. If you don't have other options, I think he's a good start. But I do respect the 49ers pass defense. Higgins and Pittman for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I wouldn't do it. I actually think Higgins and Pittman have enough value combined. But if you're just looking to get that player that you can lock in and not even think about managing, then I would go Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do you think Logan Thomas bounces back? Yes. Terrible play calling. I don't know why he wasn't in the offense more this week. Kyron Williams for Garrett Wilson. You could do it. I'd rather have Williams the rest of season, though. Thoughts on Ingram? I'm not as high on him as other people have been. A lot of people are trying to sell me on Ingram. I'm just not as high on him. Trade Olave for Ayuk. No, I'd rather have Olave. Junior, I'm receiving Mostert and CJ Stroud for Goff. Is that a win? You're getting Mostert and Stroud? Yes, Junior, that is a steal. You're getting arguably a top 5 running back and a quarterback that's proven himself for just another quarterback. Junior, great trade. Do it right now. Jacob M. Rashad White or Kareem Hunt. For this week, really tricky. I'm going to lean just slightly towards... I'm going to go Rashad White just barely. Do you value Garrett Wilson or Ridley Moore? I value Ridley Moore the rest of the season. Commanders defense or Raiders defense? This week, Raiders. Guys, the Raiders defense is putting pressure on teams. They get sacks. I really like the Raiders defense, especially that matchup that they have this week. CJ Young, should I trade Kirk, Collins, and White for Metcalf and Ford? No, I think you're giving up too much and not getting enough back in return. Cole Mason, I trade Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Thielen for Eckler and Kupp. Yes, I would do that deal, Cole. I would do that deal, I think. Can the Jones hype train get back on track this week? Daniel, I think you're in line for a good hype back week. I think he's going to get back on track. Yep, Daniel, I love how you said that. Trade Mixon for Puka. Nate, Mixon's been a sleepy good running back in fantasy. I like Puka's value the rest of the season, but don't undervalue the running back position. So, Nate, if you've got depth at running back, sure, but I think I value Mixon at running back more than I value Puka if I don't have that kind of depth. Trade Achane for Hollywood Brown. No, I'd actually keep Achane. I've already gone through a week of him not being around. I'm not worried about it. I think Achane comes back and retains his value far more than Hollywood Brown keeps his value, unless you really need if you really need a wide receiver this week, Eli, or if you really need wide receivers in general, sure, but I think I'd rather have Achane. AJ, thoughts on Ridley? Don't like him this week, especially if Trevor Lawrence is out, but I think he'll bounce back in coming weeks. Gabe Davis or Romeo Doubs? You gotta go Gabe Davis this week, guys, and the only reason I say it, the Bills are about to bludgeon the New England Patriots. The Bills love beating up on the Patriots. If you don't remember, I think Tom Brady in his career went 33-3, something like that, like 33-3 or 36-3 against the Buffalo Bills. So for decades, the Bills have been eating shit from the New England Patriots. What is it time for? It's time for the Bills to stuff it down Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots' throat. So even though Romeo Doubs has a good matchup against the Denver Broncos, I think the Bills are going to be in embarrassment mode. They are going to try and run up the score on the Patriots. So I'd rather have Gabe Davis. I think Josh Allen and the Bills are going to be chucking, trying to embarrass the Patriots this weekend. Thank you guys so much for being with us. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. We are live every single day. We are live every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern, every weekend at 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you hit the follow button. That way you never miss our show. Again, we're live every single day, every weekday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So hit that follow button. That way you never miss our show, never miss the conversation. You can get your questions in. Krish Paul, do I trade Kyron for Ridley? Yeah, sure, I would do that deal. Cayenne, Lalani, what do I do with Montgomery? I have Kyron too. Yeah, you're just in a tough spot. Injuries came on at the wrong time. Hold on to him, though. I wouldn't give up on him. I'd hold on to him. Just make some moves on the waiver wire. You're going to have a bad week this week. Just suffer through. Max Hewitt, I'd go Pacheco this week. Max Hewitt, I'd go Pacheco. RW, drop Mercado for Hunter Murray? Yes. Yes, I would, actually. Connor, is my running back depth good? Eckler, Aaron Jones, Cook, and Moss. You great at 1 and 2. As for depth, no, you don't have great depth because I don't really trust James Cook if one of those two wide running backs, Eckler and Jones, who have both been injured earlier this year, went down again. William Fenton, great to see you, William. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Need a flex to fill in for week 7. Can I send you... William, write in the comment section who's available. We'll get to your question, don't worry. Trade Pollard for Thielen if I need a wide receiver. I can't believe I'm saying it, but Thielen has incredible value right now. I don't like the trade because it from a brand name perspective, it sounds off, but Thielen's actually been an incredibly valuable wide receiver. King Daddy just got offered JJ and Pacheco for Bijan, Christian Kirk. What do you think? I'd rather have Bijan and Christian Kirk. Goff, Kmet, Dobbs for Waller and Osborne. I'd rather have Goff, Kmet, and Dobbs. CJ, how about Kirk, Madison, and McLaurin for Metcalf and Ford? No, CJ, you're giving up too much. A lot of the trades that I'm seeing that you guys are being offered or you're offering, you guys are giving up too much and you're not getting enough back. I understand some of you guys need to offer maybe a little bit more to get that player you want or to get that position you really need. but I'm letting you know if it's a fair deal or not. If you're giving up a little bit more, that might be okay if you're really desperate for that position or you really want that player, but you should know if it's a fair trade or not. Landon Thomas, 8207. Garrett Wilson in the Falcons defense for Watson, Flowers, and the Bucks defense. Landon Thomas, if you're getting Watson, Flowers, and the Bucks defense, do that trade right now. I don't value the Falcons that much more than the Bucks, so I'm trading Wilson, and I'm getting back Watson and Flowers. Do it. Do it right now. Do it. Randall, who to grab for Metcalf? Interesting question. Maybe you could get like a T. Higgins. Maybe you could get a Devontae Smith. Could you get a wide receiver 1 right now? I don't know. You might be shopping for wide receiver 2s. You might actually have a better chance of getting running backs if there's a team that has a plethora of running backs and needs a wide receiver. Cole Mason. Should I trade Jones, Ayuk, and Goddard and Thielen for Eckler, Kupp, and Warren? I like the Eckler, Kupp, and Warren side of that deal. I just have a lot of bench depth. I'm sitting on Kirk, London, McLaurin, Madison, trying to package, CJ, I totally get it. Package Madison and McLaurin or Madison and London together. See what you can get back. Drop Tucker for Folk. Justin Tucker has enormous value. I know Nick Folks hasn't missed a kick this year, but Justin Tucker, didn't he just kick like 6 field goals this past week? I wouldn't give up Tucker. Coop, 49ers running back good. I think Elijah Mitchell is the running back you want. So Jordan Mason scored the touchdown yesterday, or Sunday rather, but I think it's going to be Elijah Mitchell that's going to be the backup this Sunday for the 49ers. Maybe even the starter if Christian McCaffrey doesn't go. Alex, would you trade DK for Calvin Ridley? The answer is I probably would. It's a pretty fair trade as of right now, but I think I prefer Ridley rest of season. Should I bench Dobbs or Addison for Dobbs? I would. This week I would. New DK, I would this week. Brock Ford. How long do you think Montgomery and Kyron Williams will be out? At least a week, if not 2. I think their injuries could be a little bit longer than we're hoping for. If you guys want all of my bets every single day, all you have to do is DM me on Instagram. And guess what, folks? I'm about to give out another pick that I like. I am going to give out my Sharps play of the day. Everybody, the Sharps play of the day is going to be for tonight's MLB playoff game. I rode with it yesterday. I'm riding with it again. Phillies on the money line, everybody. That is my Sharps play of the day. Aaron Nola on the mound has been incredibly consistent as a money line play for bettors of the Phillies. So I do like Aaron Nola and the Phillies to take a 2-0 series lead and win tonight. Again, if you guys want every bet that I make every single day, whether you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, I give out every bet that I make every day. Just DM me on Instagram to get every pick that I make. DM me on Instagram. I'll share a referral code and link, and you can get every bet that I make. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram, everybody. Pepe Enrico, great to see you. Trade Olave for Waddle. Ooh, I think I'd rather keep Olave. It's close, though. It's very close. Javante or Osborne or Palmer. I'd probably go Palmer this week. Aleke, I'd probably go Palmer this week. It's Mikey Roberts. I need a running back. Who should I go for? I can trade one of these players. I would probably trade Myers and Palmer, package those two together, and see if you could get a running back in exchange. Thanks so much for the question. Zano, should I start Zach Moss this week? No. He's playing the Browns defense. The Browns, one of the best run defenses in the NFL. Don't start Zach Moss this week. I like Zach Moss. He's kept his value, worth holding on to on your roster, but don't start him this week, guys. Christian Kirk, Hollywood Brown for Flowers and Pickens. King Daddy, I think it's close. I think I'd rather have Kirk and Hollywood Brown, believe it or not. I just don't trust Pickens enough to carry enough value. I trust Flowers, but I don't know if I trust Pickens. CJ, I have a lot of bench depth. Yeah, I know what you're trying to do. Like I said, package Madison with one of those other wide receivers. I'd probably keep Kirk and just put out some feelers. See what you can get. Jude, trade Chase for Achane and Waddle. Ooh, that's an interesting trade. Jude, I kind of like it. Now, here's the thing. Just know it's not a good trade for like 3-4 weeks. So you're going to go 3-4 weeks where you just gave up the better wide receiver for maybe the lesser wide receiver. But the moment Achane comes back, that's a great trade. So, Jude, I kind of like it, but it's definitely if you're able to survive the next 3 weeks with that lesser value at the wide receiver position. Matthew Pupko. By the way, it's actually not even that bad because the Bengals are on a bye week this week, so you're not getting value out of Chase this week. Jude, I make that deal. I really like it, Jude. I like what you got there. Brock Ford, start 3. Evans, Warren, Smith and Jigba, who's coming on strong. Johnson or Reynolds. Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds is going to be in that group. I really like Craig Reynolds. I think that he's going to have a good game. So I go Craig Reynolds will be one of them. I'd go Evans would be 2. And I'd go Jackson Smith and Jigba. So Evans, Reynolds, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brock Ford. But that's a tricky one right there. Not players I expected to be encouraging you to take. Texas Tejano, should I trade JT for Mixon? No, I wouldn't do that. I think that's a little reactionary to what we've seen over the last couple weeks. But I think JT has good value rest of season. Justin Gonzalez, Walker or Kamara, pick one in a PPR. Ooh, I'll go Walker. Justin, I'll go Walker, but it's close. Just trade Cook for Swift. No, Parker, are you getting Swift? If you're getting Swift, I do it. Brock Ford, thank you so much for the kind words. Great to have you with us. Really appreciate all of you guys being with us. If you haven't done so already, hit the follow button. Hit the subscribe button. Become a member of Butt Fumble Sports. We are live every single day. We are going to do a subscriber-only show tonight. So if you subscribe on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, we are going to do a subscriber-only show tonight, everybody. So make sure you guys subscribe right now. That way you don't miss our show. We probably have about 15 minutes left of this show, but we will be live tonight helping subscribers with all of their questions. We're going to give them a lot of personal attention. So if you're a subscriber, you get all of your questions answered. You get all the personal attention. Juan, thank you so much. So make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Otherwise, hit the follow button, and we're live at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Rate rest of season. Howell, Fields, Etienne, Eckler, Puka. R. Robbie Robertson, it's a good team. Matt G. Foreman or Madison for this week. Oh, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks so much. I'd probably go with Foreman. Matt G, I'd probably go Foreman, but I don't like either one. Cohen, I'm 1-5. Sorry, buddy. Why team is good, but opponents keep it? That is the worst. Cohen, we've all been there. I'm so sympathetic and empathetic. I have been in leagues where I was having a great year and I had a losing record because I was facing teams that seem to have their juggernaut week every week. It is brutal. It's tough. I am so with you there. And yet at the same time, man the fuck up and just carry on. There's not much you can do. I wish I could be like, oh, there's a way you can. Nope, you're just having a run of bad luck. It's okay. It's just that year for you, unfortunately. Andrew, Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore for Eckler, Keenan Allen, and Laporta. Ooh, I like that trade. Andrew, I like that trade. I'd do it. KS Chackney, I'd rather have Gibbs. KS Chackney, I'd rather have Gibbs. And sorry, I'm butchering your name. Trevor, I'd rather have JT. Appreciate you guys being with us. It is awesome talking to you guys every day. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing right now. We are going to be live, like I said, tonight for subscribers. TikTok, make sure you subscribe. That way you get all your questions answered. Boo! Lions defense or Pittsburgh defense? You got to go Lions defense. Jaime Gomez, sit JT and Addison. Don't have much bench depth. It is really tough this week. I don't think you'd sit either. I think you could play them, but I do think you should expect lesser value or lesser production out of them. RW, I heard today that Leonard Ford was sitting down with the Bills. They did not sign him. RW, the Bills are not signing Leonard Fournette. That's what I'm hearing. Quentin Johnston, droppable. Diego, yes. The dude freaking disappointed like nobody's business. Whether it's his fault or whether it's the Chargers' fault, Quentin Johnston was drafted ahead of Jordan Addison, ahead of Zay Flowers, and he is producing frickin' bupkis. So do I think he's droppable? Absolutely. Should I trade Laporta and JT for Kelsey? Texas Tejano, I mentioned it earlier in the show. Someone brought up a similar question. It might have been you. The answer is Laporta and JT, they're having value that'll probably be greater than Kelsey rest of season. I would keep Laporta and JT. Texas Tejano, I'd keep those two. Pip 1510, Olave Pierce for Puka Myers. Pierce is in a tough spot. He's giving up too many carries right now to other running backs in that backfield like Devin Singletary. So his value's going down. I think I'd rather have Olave and Pierce just now, but Pip 1510, you might be getting on ahead of a curve right now. Quizmatic, do I sell high on London, you think? Yes, I would. Emmanuel Natali got offered Hawkinson for Kittle and Higgins. I'd do the deal. Emmanuel, I would do the deal. The Nick RB Commanders defense would be the one I'd go with. Nick RB, I'd go Commanders defense. Thanks so much for the question. Kyle, Brian Robinson and Collins for Jones. I think you're giving up too much, Kyle. Nico Collins has proven his value this year. I think you're giving up a little bit too much. Trade Montgomery and London for Hurts and Gibbs. Yes, Ryan, I would do that deal right now. Yep. Alex, rate my team. Allen, Walker, Swift, Diggs, Brown, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Goddard. Alex, really good team. A-, B+ team. Probably an A- right now. Really strong. David Etten, should I trade Chase and White for Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Madison, and Deshaun Watson? No. David, I would not do it. Daniel Berg, Nico and Myers for Puka. You get Puka. I think you're maybe giving up a little bit too much value, actually. Nico Collins has value. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't like the 2-for-1. Frankly, I think you're giving up 2 wide receivers that'll probably outproduce Puka. That's my concern. Kiki is Guap. Got offered JT and London for Olave. Yes. Kike, I'd do it. Kike, it's a good trade. CJ, who should I target with Madison, London, McLaurin? CJ, open-ended questions are pretty tough for me to answer. Go out there. Go do your research, CJ. Go look at the other teams in your league. Who needs wide receivers? That's your job, CJ. That's what you got to go do. Go do your due diligence. Look at the other teams in your league. Who's lacking wide receivers? Then, if they have enough depth at running back, make that offer. Matthew Pupko, would you trade Hollywood Brown for Jones? Yes. Matthew Pupko, I would do that deal. Thoughts on Waller rest of season? Should I buy into him? No, I wouldn't buy into him. I think he might have a good week here or there, but I don't really trust him. Puka and Terry for CeeDee Lamb. Mo, I would do it. Hill Ortiz, 505. Pick 2. Wow, really tough this week if I'm picking 2. I'll probably go Gibbs and Jones. Jones for sure, but Gibbs would probably be the other one. John, 305. Should I trade away Amari Cooper, Addison, Bijan, Puka, and Ty? Yes, John 305. I would do the deal. John 305. I actually would do that deal. Cayenne, is this a good running back room? Jacobs, Monty, Kyron, Mixon, Madison, 8-man. The answer is it is good when they're healthy. When it's not, it doesn't have enough depth because I don't trust Madison. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you're subscribing to Butt Fumble Sports. We are live every single day. There is not one day of 2023 that I will not be live. So make sure that you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't done so already, also, if you want all of my bets, DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports. We give out all of our bets for free every single day. So DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram to get every bet that I make every single day. Every kind of bet, every sport. I connect my sportsbook to SHARPZ, so you can find every bet that I make every single day. All you have to do is DM me on Instagram. Jorge, I like that one, Jorge. I like that one. Toe Eater Bray. I would make that trade. Toe Eater Bray, I would do that trade. Zingsty, all right, I'm back. Good, thank God. Zingsty, I don't know how we do it without you. I'd rather have Debo, Robinson, and Watson, believe it or not. You're trading a lot to just get A.J. Brown. I don't like it. C.J. Young, DK Metcalf, and C.J., that's good. Good job, C.J. I like that. 56 Turbo, thanks for hitting that follow button. If you haven't done so already over on TikTok, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you haven't done so, subscribe. We are going to do a subscriber-only show tonight on TikTok. It's only for subscribers to comment. So if you're like, I want personal attention, I want Butt Fumble Sports to answer all 50 of my fantasy questions, I want personal attention, all you have to do is subscribe on TikTok. We do multiple subscriber-only shows every week, so it is worth it. Every month, I think it's $5.99. We make sure we're live enough only for subscribers to make it worth it because I always want to give you guys your money's worth here at Butt Fumble Sports. Yusuf, should I still trade Swift, Judy for Devontae and Jones? I'd rather have Devontae and Jones. Yusuf, I'd rather have Devontae and Jones. Jonathan, I'm not sure about the time just yet. I'm supposed to be going out with my lady friend tonight. I'm supposed to be taking my girlfriend out to dinner. So, depending on what time that all wraps up, I'm thinking probably like 10:30. That's probably when I'm going to come on live, but it's probably not up to me. Is Dallas Goedert a good buy right now? I don't think he's a good buy. I think he's someone I might hold on to, but I don't know if I'd go buy him right now. I would consider selling him, though. I think he's someone you hold on to. I just don't feel like you want to acquire him. Start Jacoby, Calvin Ridley, or DJ Moore this week. Brutally tough, because you got 3 backup quarterbacks going. I'd probably go DJ Moore out of all of them if a backup quarterback. James, it's all about if any of the starters play. If you hear Trevor Lawrence is playing Thursday, start Ridley. If you hear that Jimmy G is playing, start Jacoby Myers. But if Lawrence isn't playing and Jimmy G doesn't play, I would go with DJ Moore, James. I would go DJ Moore out of that group. I got offered Kupp, Puka, Flowers, and Gibbs for McCaffrey and Thielen. Wow, loaded trade. I'd rather have the Kupp, Puka, Flowers, and Gibbs side. Pick up Julio Jones? No. Julio Jones has no value in a fantasy game. Would you trade Nico for Gibbs? No, I actually wouldn't. Gibbs has a bad matchup this week. I think Nico Collins has proven his value. Gibbs has yet to. I loved Gibbs at the start of the year. Lions just aren't using him enough. And I actually think Craig Reynolds is going to get enough touches where even in this game where Montgomery's going to be out, Gibbs still won't be the primary, getting all the fantasy points. So I'm not big on it. Trade Montgomery for Pacheco. Matthew, when Montgomery's healthy, he's the far better running back, but he will be out for a couple weeks. So if you can't wait, Matthew Patton, if you need a running back now, Pacheco's a good one to pick up. Bronson, heyo, trade Kamara and Purdy for Eckler. Yes, I would do it. Best waiver wire pickups this week. I do think Evans, now that we know Kyron Williams is out, Zach Evans is absolutely up there. Roshan Johnson, another one to consider. Latavius Murray, another player to consider. Those are running backs I would think of. When it comes to wide receiver, Curtis Samuel, Jaden Reed of the Packers. Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed keeps making me eat my words every week because he's just a big play option that actually comes through. So I do like Rashid Shaheed. If Jameson Williams is available in your league, he's starting to pop, guys. He's looking healthy, so I do like that. Looking at the tight end position, Logan Thomas, I think he has a bounce-back week. Luke Musgrave, I think has a really good week. I like him a lot as well. Gerald Everett got the touchdown last night, so I think his value comes back up a little bit. Those would be the tight ends I'd look to. At quarterback, Mayfield, Sam Howell, Josh Dobbs, but really not a great week for quarterbacks off the waiver wire. Bronson Heyo, I would not do that deal. Bronson Heyo, I wouldn't do that deal. Newbot, Kyron Williams and Drake London for Keenan Allen. Yes, I would do it. Newbot, I'd do it. Kobe Fisher, 2 and 4, got offered Thielen, Andrews, and Devontae Smith for JJ, McLaurin, and Ferguson. I'd rather have the Thielen, Andrews, and Devontae Smith side. Kobe, I'd rather have the Thielen, Andrews, and Devontae Smith side. Zach, should I trade Zay Flowers, Puka, and Justin Fields and Moss for Diggs? No, you're giving up a ton for Diggs. No, I wouldn't do it. Marco, would you trade Kyron Williams for CeeDee Lamb? Marco, yes, I would. I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb in that deal. Jorge, Butt Fumble Sports, you got to hop on NHL. Been so profitable. Jorge, we do bet the NHL. I like to see some trends first. So the reason I haven't bet a lot of NHL just yet is especially early in a season. I don't care the sport. NBA, MLB, NHL, NFL. The first week or two of the season, the first couple of games, a lot of the trends aren't actually kind of finding their way. It's a time where a lot of outliers hit. I like to get some data. I like to be able to see trends and analytical kind of normalities start to develop. That's when I really bet it. So don't worry, I love betting on the NHL, but I'm waiting to see a couple games. I want to see who's playing well. I want to see what teams look like. I'm just not jumping on it too quick. That said, everybody, we have been live for 1 hour. We are going to do a subscriber-only show later tonight. We will do a subscriber-only show later tonight. So, if you have not done so already, hit that follow button on TikTok. Hit that subscribe button. We will do a subscriber-only show on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick later tonight. So if you guys want to join us, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you're a follower. And I will be back live later tonight. Just, I've been away. Got to go take the girlfriend out. Got to be a good boyfriend. So with that said, I am so grateful for the support you guys show us. Juan, thanks so much. Love seeing our logo in that comment section. For all of those that watch every day, I am so, so grateful. Thank you for supporting us. Hope you guys stay healthy. Hope you stay safe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you can join us later tonight, because we will do a subscriber-only show later tonight, 10:30, something like that. So, to everyone who's been watching so far, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys later tonight. Enjoy that MLB game. Until then, have a great night, everybody.